The Polar Vortex is about to make a return back down to the Gulf Coast and the Florida Peninsula. You're watching the Border City Kids Weather Channel, and the weather whiplash is officially here. And we're going to track a polar vortex collapse that is sending a deep freeze straight for the Gulf Coast and the Florida Peninsula. If you think your winter gear was packed away for the season, think again, because winter is returning. We're talking about a 30-degree crash in less than 24 hours. Let's have a look at the current radar. Now, before we dive into tonight's radar, let's have a look at the current watches and warnings that are currently out throughout the United States right now. And I want us to focus on two areas. The first area is this area right here. This is a winter storm that is powering its way through states such as Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, and through the Lake Superior region. Now, it's dropping about 4 to 5 inches of snow roughly. It's not heavy amounts of snow, but it is something to keep an eye on because it will affect travel conditions by quite a bit. The second part I want you to look at right now, before we actually look at our topic of discussion for this podcast, is the yellow region on the map. And the reason I want us to have a look at this region right here is because these two states, Illinois and Indiana, are pretty much filled with tornado watches throughout the entire states because these two have very favorable conditions, and we'll take a look at the radar of very strong cells that are capable of producing tornadoes. Now, there are a few tornado warnings right now, and there's multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll have a look right now at what these storms currently look like. And here's just an overall radar setup of what the United States look like. So out west right now towards Nevada, California, and Arizona, there's a little bit of snow right now because in the higher elevations it's cold enough right now. And there is some colder temperatures out west right now. There is a temperature gradient out west that separates about freezing mark to about 50 degrees. And it's a very sharp change in temperature over just a few miles. Now, the first system I wanted to point to and look at was this one here. And this one's through Iowa, Wisconsin, and up through Lake Superior, also parts of Nebraska. But if you look at Des Moines right now in Iowa, we are looking at what appears to be pretty strong amounts of snow. So where you see these white little marks here, that just says that it's snow. Now, the reason we don't see it on the eastern coast is because the front of this storm is actually rain and thunderstorms. There is lightning involved with some of these storms out in Madison, Wisconsin. This just rolled through about a half hour ago. There was some lightning involved with these storms. Now, on the back end of this, we're actually seeing a little bit of freezing rain and snow on the other end. So it does make up for quite a bit confusing traveling conditions when you have lightning through rain into then freezing rain into snow. So this will make it quite difficult to travel. Now, here is the regions I want us to look at right here. These two states, Illinois and Indiana. And you can look at Peoria right now. In Illinois, there is a very small cell, but it is a very strong thunderstorm right now, and it would not surprise me if this here had some rotation in it and was capable of producing a tornado. Now, where we see those little tiny red spots, those are your strong cells that have that rotation that could produce tornadoes. So Illinois right now, Springfield probably just passed through about 15-20 minutes ago, probably capable, if not very severe weather with wind, hail, thunderstorms. We look off into Indiana, where we also have a lot of small cell thunderstorms. Bloomington right now, this will probably be coming through your area anytime. Indianapolis, this was probably coming through your area anytime. Marion, this probably passed through. Lots and lots of heavy downpours in these systems here. Up in Wisconsin, we do see near Kenosha, this should be coming through your area soon. We do have few pockets of thunderstorms right now, and this is a little bit rare right now for February being that far north, but we have a warm air push right now. But on the back end is the colder temperatures that are going to drop that we're going to see very soon. The last thing I just wanted to look at right now was just in Trenton here. This storm here is just a small cell thunderstorm. It's kind of off on its own right now. It is something to keep an eye on, but it's just another thing that popped up that had a little bit of lightning with it, so I wanted to go over that. Now, up in northwestern Ontario, there's a little bit of snow near Dryden, Kenora, and parts of Winnipeg. This is nothing too crazy, but as far as Canada goes, that's about all that's going on in Canada right now as far as any type of significant snow events. Here's just a look at our radar. This shows the freeze line on how it's kind of leveled itself off throughout the southern parts of the United States, such as Arizona, New Mexico, northern parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and out the East Coast through North Carolina. That's about as high up as that freeze mark goes right now, so it's not that far south right now. Like, it's actually come down quite a ways, and we're going to see some of the colder temperatures that are in northwestern Canada and western Canada, such as BC, but mostly Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. We're going to see that cold air here start to funnel its way into the southeastern parts of the United States. Now, we're looking at values such as -18, -19 degrees Fahrenheit difference in what you're currently used to, which is right around that 70 degrees mark if you're on the Gulf Coast here, probably a little bit warmer by 5 degrees if you're in the southern portions of Florida. Having a closer look at this here, the temperature will drop by about 15 to 20 degrees on average, and that is going for that entire southeast portion, such as Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Kentucky. Like, I think I might have already said that. This, if you actually pay attention to our temperature overall, though, the portion that's not too affected by this storm, actually, if I go back here, the part that's not too affected by this, and it's kind of surprising, is the Great Lakes region. Now, you notice that it goes through, like, there, it's light blue, but it's not actually dark blue, like this is actually going to pour in to the Florida region. It's actually going to stay right around seasonal. You may have a few degrees below average, but nothing too crazy overall. We will follow it a little later on, but you will feel an impact because it has been warm in the Great Lakes region as of late. Looking at our temperatures in North America right now, on average through Canada, for the most part, we're seeing -15 to -20 degree Celsius temperatures right now, which is very frigid and cold. The only parts of Canada that have actually been warm are southwestern Ontario, such as London, Sarnia, Windsor. You've been experiencing warmer weather, but lots of fog. It's been kind of not the greatest of weather, but it's been a little warm up, so a little bit of relief. You are going to go back into the negatives at some point very soon. We do see those parts of Western Canada that were above average starting to dip back below freezing now, which is very normal for this time of the year. It was surprising that some of those areas in southern Alberta and Saskatchewan hit around the 50 degree Fahrenheit mark. It's not very typical that Western Canada is warmer than the eastern part of Canada, so it is different. Now, we do see that these temperatures right here out in BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, parts of Manitoba, these are going to funnel their way into that southeastern part of the United States over the next couple days. And the only good news I really have for you guys is that over the next 6 to 10 days temperature outlook, we are looking at pretty much for the most part the entire United States above average. There's a high degree of certainty that that's going to happen. So the good news is that this cold, deep freeze that we're going to see all the way down to Florida is not going to last too long. It's probably going to last 2 to 3 days before we start to see the average temperatures shoot back up into the 70s again, and we can get back on track. Hopefully this continues to push a little bit north as we get closer to March, and with warmer temperatures, especially in the northern parts, and where we see that jet stream push a little bit further north, we start to see an active jet stream where there's more precipitation in the form of snow and rain. As far as the warming temperatures start to push up in from Mexico, we start to see those drought conditions start to set in a little bit, where it's hot and it's dry. They are hitting temperatures such as like 90 degrees. So it is starting to get warm there, and that's just because we're getting closer and closer to March, closer and closer to spring. The temperatures just naturally start to get warmer. So as far as things go for now, we are looking at a freeze that is going to settle in to the southeastern portion of the United States over the next couple days. It will be significantly colder than what you're used to. So take out your sweaters, take out your coats. You will need them. If you are in Indiana and Ohio right now, please have a look at your local weather right now to make sure that you're safe, you're indoors, and you're away from the windows if you have a tornado warning. If you have a tornado watch, please be careful, please be on alert, and be safe. Thanks for watching the Border City Kids Weather Channel. I'm your host, Brian. We'll see you next time. We'll give you an update. Take care. Have a good one.